3 Series is due a service. I like to change this oil every year. I know the indicator on the dashboard does it in mileage and it's long life service, so you don't have to change it as regular, but timing chain on these is, or can be, an issue, so I like to keep that oil nice and fresh. I do it every 12 months regardless, change the oil. So we'll reset that schedule on the dashboard as well. Let's get it over the curb and drop the oil out. On these you don't have to get it too high to do it. You can, like this, I'll just pull it over a high curb and then I can get underneath it and just pop the sump bung out. The oil filter is all done from up top, so you haven't got to be fumbling about underneath. There is a little cover that's missing on this one. I've made another one for it. I'll put that on once we're finished, but you will need to just turn that screw adapter to drop down the little flap to get under it. But it's very, very simple. Quarter turn, drops down. Yeah, let's crack on. So this is underneath the car now. This is the under tray, and you can see the hole there. That is where the flap would be. A lot of these fall off, but this one fell off when I went through a big puddle.
17mm.
So once that covers down, you can then get this 17mm socket onto that sump bung anti-clockwise. It shouldn't be very tight, it's only got a small thread on it with a copper washer. Get the oil bucket under there and then just whiz it out and just wait for it to drop. Hoping you don't drop the sump bung into the oil tray, which is always a pain. And there we go. The copper washer fell, but I did manage to keep hold of the bung in my hand. Make sure that engine's quite warm before you drop the oil. It always comes out quicker. And again, if you take the filler cap off before you drop the oil, it comes out better as well. It just helps it flow through. And once that's down to a tiny trickle, then we can put the new washer back on the sump bung. You should get one with the oil filter kit. We'll drop that washer back on there and then we can pop that back in again, nipping it up. Again, being really careful not to drop that bung into the oil bucket. Sometimes a little bit tricky just to start the thread. This one's, because it's awkward, I'm lying on my back, got my hand back to front, oil's dribbling down, but we managed to get it in anyway. I'm trying to cheat a little bit because I haven't jacked it up, I've just put it over this high curb. Obviously if you've jacked it, it might be a bit easier, but it's not bad luck. There we go, drips all coming down, not going down my arm, so that's even better. We'll get the bar on that. We'll wipe it down. Oh, we'll move the oil bucket out of the way. Yeah, look at that oil everywhere, all over my hand. Give it a quick wipe and then we'll nip it back up again. Get that socket back on there and just nip it and then just give it a tweak. There we go, ample. So let's pull this engine cover off. It's just on 2 rubbers at the front and 2 little slides at the back, so give it a yank and away it comes. These rubbers, sometimes you get one staying in the on the clip on the manifold. Just push it back into the cover there. Now we'll do a little repair on that in a bit because they're a bit loose, look. So we'll the cover rattles if it becomes loose.
28.
So this one is the 28mm socket onto this filter housing. This is the plastic ball looking thing there on the side of the engine just above the dipstick. So just wind that off, just undo that and the filter will come out with that cap. It'll come attached to it, it pushes into it, and this is a little paper cartridge type filter. So I've stuffed some rags under there just to catch any drips. I don't want it running down and getting stuck in my under tray. So I put a few rags underneath it just in case we get a trickle.
and then we shall pull that, get that out, just give us a bit of clearance. Look, move the pipe out of the way slightly and then just pull it out. Here we go, and there it is. There's the dirty old filter cartridge. It's got that little noggin on the end that goes in one way. That will only fit one way into the filter assembly. You can see there's the new one, look, nice and clean. So we've got to grab hold of this. It's a bit oily and slidey, so I put it in a piece of bit of paper there, and we'll grab hold of it and just literally pull it off. It's a bit tight, but it just pulls off. Come on, there we go, look. So there it is. That's the old one. So we'll get a shut of that and we'll get the new one, and we're going to stuff the new one back onto that cap. It's got like a felt piece on the end of it, that white felt bit, and that just pushes straight on there and clicks in place like that. And when we put it back in again, we've got to locate that little noggin into the filter housing assembly. We've got to try and get that lined up, so be a bit careful when you put it back in again that you get that in the hole. That's the number for this filter. I bought a Fran one, and you get a new rubber seal there that just you just slip that round the top. So you take the old rubber off. If it's a bit perished or a bit flappy and baggy, you can just peel that off and change it. So here we go, straight back in again. Locate that little lug at the bottom, and then we just screw it up nice and gently. And we're going to wind this down with the socket. You haven't got to go silly tight with this. You're just going to wind it down until it's up, and then just give it just a tiny tweak, because that rubber seal is what's doing the sealing on this, so you haven't got to go too mad with it. Remove your rags and stuff. Job's a good one. Now, I was saying to you about the rattling engine cover. If you just whack a bit of insulation tape round the little attachments there, around the two little noggins, everything's a noggin with me. So yeah, put just to pack it out slightly, and then also we'll put a bit around the outside of the little attachments on the engine cover itself, which will do that as well. Here we go, look. So just pop them out and just pack a little bit of insulation tape around the outside of it, and it just squeezes everything up slightly. It just makes everything that little bit tighter. I mean, if you want to, you can go down the garage and buy some new ones, but to be honest with you, this works really well. You're not sealing it on for life or anything, so you can still remove it. But yeah, just bang a bit around there, because there's nothing more annoying than when you sat at the traffic lights and your engine's running and got your window down, sun shining, and you can hear your engine cover chattering away on top of your engine. It sounds like your engine's about ready to fall out. But bit of tape on this, pack it all back together again, and then we can do the same with the other side. Then we'll pop it back on again, and yeah, it'll stop that rattling. Insulation tape's great stuff. It's great for all sorts of uses. I say, especially jobs like this, it's brilliant. Don't put too much on there, as you won't get the thing back into the engine cover. You only got to go around a couple of times. Just squeeze it in there nicely, look, and look at that now. That's a really nice fit. It's a lovely fit. Slide the two locators in at the back. It is a bit tricky because you can't see very well because of all the other stuff that's in the way, but you can just get my torch and have a look. You can just locate those back two and then just bang them down on the front rubbers. Just bang straight down. Look at that now, look, that's lovely and tight, lovely. This is the oil we're going back in. It's the Sync Plus C3 BMW spec oil. Euro car parts this one was from. It's about 30 odd quid for a, this will take 5.5 litres to fill this engine. That's including what goes into the filter, so yeah, 5.5 litres is what we're looking at putting in there. Always turn the bottle on its side, almost back on itself slightly, to stop any glugs. If you try and tip it straight in, you'll get all the glugs and you'll get it all over the engine, but if you turn it flat like that, you can pour it nice and slowly and get it in the hole without getting it everywhere. So let's whack that in and yeah, get rid of that oil. In she goes. Liquid gold, that's what it is. So expensive now, decent oil. And there we go. That's how tight I am. I want every last drip out of the bottle. We'll put the filler cap back on again. Click that round, and then we can start the car up and let it run just for a few seconds. Get that oil circulated into everything, fill the filter housing up, and then we can do another check. Just dip the oil, make sure we're up to the level on the dipstick, just finish it off, little top up just to finish off. Get it absolutely spot on. Remember, from the bottom of the dipstick to the top of the dipstick on the marker is 1 litre. So if you're halfway up the dipstick on the little marking on the bottom, you know you've just got to go with another ½ litre and you'll be up to the maximum level. Beautiful. Pop that dipstick back in again if you can find the hole. Oh dear, there we go. Pop the cap back on again for the last time. All finished.
That's a lot better. It's not rattling and chattering like it was. You're always going to get a vibration, but it's not actually noisy anymore. So as I've shown in one of my previous videos how to reset the service light, but I'll just go through it again quickly just so that you're looking for it. So we press the start button, press it again till the lights come on. You're not pressing any pedals or anything. Press and hold this button here on the combined instrument panel until that comes up. Then it goes to the next one there, bang. Now we go to the switch here and you toggle through the menus to see which ones need resetting. So that's obviously the third 23. That one's okay. Well, I've just reset them all. So when you find something like that you want to reset, so I want to I've changed the brake fluid and I'm going to reset this. So what you do is you press the BC button. It says reset. You press it again, hold it. The clock ticks down. Done. And then you move to the next one. 721 for that one there, that's okay, we're not worried about that. Oil change, I've just reset that one. Brake fluid, that's reset. We can do this one, like, so we want to do the rear brake pad check. I said brake fluid, you know, it's brake pad check, so that we can go BC, press that, press and hold it again. Just wait. There you go, that's done as well, so that's the next one. And that's pretty much it. They're all reset now. I've reset everything, so all my service indicators are all done. Press an hold button, press that, away you get it. There you go, we're all off, and then you can press and start the car, and everything's happy. There we go. Well, that was a nice easy fix. Car's all done, and I hope that's been a help to you. So thanks for watching. Drop me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, always like your comments, and thanks for watching.